Question 150, evaluate reverse policy notation from LeetCode. Evaluate the value of an arithmetic expression in reverse policy notation, right? Valid operators are plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Let's see what reverse policy notation is by going through this example. As you see, a list of integers and an operands is given to us, and they are like all in a string format. And what we are going to do, we are going to return a number, and this number is the number that we can get by doing reverse policy notation. And what is that? So in reverse policy notation, when we have this list of numbers and operands, what we are going to do, when we see numbers, we do nothing, and when we see operands, we take action. So what do I mean by that? So let's say we start iterating over this list. As I said, when we see numbers, we do nothing, and when we see operands, we start taking actions. So this is 2, we do nothing, this is 1, we do nothing, and this is plus, which is an operand, so we take action. What action do we take? We take the last 2 numbers and we do that operand over them. So if we have a plus here, the last 2 numbers that we have are 2 and 1, which we are going to do the operand over them, which result to 3. And then we keep iterating, we see 3, we do nothing, and then we see an operand, we take action. What we are going to do, we are going to take the last 2 numbers, which is going to be 3 and 3, and we do the operand, which is multiply on it, and we get the result. And as you see, we get 9 as a result. Let's do another example. In this example, as I mentioned, when we see numbers, we do nothing. We start iterating 4, 13, 5, and we see an operand. So it's time to take action. What we are going to do, we are going to do this operand over the last 2 numbers. So we are going to divide 13 by 5, right? Which is going to result to number 2. And then we iterating, so we see another operand, so we take action over the last 2 digits, which is going to be 2 and 4, which result in 6. Let's do a more like harder question. So as you see here, we start iterating over this list. We have 10, we do nothing, 6, we do nothing, 9, we do nothing, 3, and then we get to this operand, which is plus. So we do this operand over the last 2 numbers that we have, which are these 2, which is going to result in 12, right? And then we have minus 11, we do nothing, and then we have multiply. What we are going to do, we do this multiply this operand over the last 2 numbers, which result in minus 132, right? And then we keep iterating, we see divide, so we should do it over the last 2 digits, which is going to be these 2. 6 divided by minus 132 is going to be 0. And then we see another operand, which is going to be 10 multiplied by 0 is going to be 0. And then we see 17, and then we see another operand, which we are going to do this operand over the last 2 digits, which is going to be 0 and 17. And then we see 5, we do nothing, this results in 17, we do nothing, and then we see plus, and we do this plus over this 17 and 5, and we get 22 out of this. So by explaining all this example, you might notice that we can use a stack for this operation. A stack has is a data structure that is last in first out. So this way, because we need to do this operand over the last 2 integer that we get, the last 2 numbers that we get from the list, so we can use that property of the stack to do that. And let's jump to the question and see how we can solve it. For solving these problems, let's say this is the example of the list that we are going to have of the numbers and operands. What we can do, we can use a for loop to iterate over this list, and what we're going to do, we are going to store these numbers in the stack until we get to an operand. So we are going to add 10, and then we are going to add 6. We keep iterating over this, and we have we have an if and else condition here. So if the the token that we are at that position, the value that we have there, if it is plus, minus, or divide or multiply, we are going to take these actions, and if not, we are just going to add that token as an integer, because you see these are a string, as an integer in the stack. So we keep iterating over this. We are going to add 10, then we are going to add 6, then we are going to add 9, and then we are going to add 3. And now when we are going to the next element, we see this is plus, which is going to be in this if condition, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to pop the last two elements of the stack, which is going to be these two. And what we are going to do, we are going to do these plus over them, right? So we are going sum up 3 and 9, which is going to be 12. And then after doing that, which is plus here, after doing that, we are going to append that to the stack again. So we are going to add 12 here, and then we keep iterating. We are going to add minus 11 in the stack, and now we have an operand here. What we are going to do, this is a multiply. So what we are going to do, we are going to multiply the last two elements of the stack, which is going to be 100 minus 132. We're going to pop these two and multiply them and put the answer here, 132. And then we keep iterating. We have divide here, so again we're going to pop the last two numbers that we have, which is minus 132 and 6, which is going to result as 0. And then we keep iterating. Now we have multiply. We are going to pop 0 and 10 and multiply them, which is going to result as 0, and put it in the stack. And then we have 17, we are going to add it in the stack. And then we have plus, which is we are going to pop these two numbers and sum them up, and which is results in 17. And then we are going to add 5 there, and then we see another operand. So we are going to pop these two and multiply them, sum them up, which is going to result in 22. And we are going to return the last element of the stack as a result. As you see here, we are going to add numbers in the stack, and we take actions when we see an operand, and we add the result of that operand and the last two items of the stack. As a result, we just append it to the stack again. The time complexity and the space complexity for this one, the space complexity is going to be O n, and time complexity is going to be O n2, because we are going to iterate over the list, and because we are using a stack, it's going to be O n as well. Thank you.